Of the 12 American presidents, from Lincoln to Clinton to Obama, that have spoken here, this is the most prestigious speaking venue in all of the United States. When Obama spoke here a few months ago, he lacerated Wall Street, story covered all over the world. James Connolly, 35 years of age, who came from nothing, self-taught, self-educated, was invited here to speak and address a gathering of New Yorkers. James Connolly stood up here and said, "Here I represent the only class to which I belong, the working class." And no doubt, as his speech went on, he ended with the words that he made famous. "The great appear great because we are on our knees. Let us arise."
The speaking tour went well. After a brief return to Dublin, Connolly was back in the United States and eventually raised enough money from public speaking and selling pamphlets to send for Lily and the children to come and join him in the Promised Land. This was a new beginning. It should have been a family reunion to savour.
So James gets a message, come down here to collect his family. They've been processed on Ellis Island, hasn't seen them in 6-7 months, has 6 growing children, counts them off the ship. There's Nora, there's Ina, there's Aideen, there's Maura, there's Roddy. But where is Mona, the eldest? He asks Lily, Lily breaks down, Ina bursts out, she's 8 years of age, Mona is dead. On the day before they were due to set sail from Ireland, Mona's apron catches fire on the open stove and she's accidentally burned to death. Their new life in America has begun with a disaster. The impact it must have had on a father arriving here to see his 6 growing children, hasn't seen them in months, to see the difference, the sports, the changes, the brightness, and to realise and discover right here that one of them had been killed and buried back home in Ireland. James wrote home to a friend in Dublin, "The death of Mona darkened our lives and changed all our hopes and prospects."
In spite of Mona's death, the family did settle into the American way of life. They based themselves in upstate New York, where James sold insurance door to door. And for a brief period, life for the Connollys was good. They even celebrated the arrival of another child. But as factories mechanised, employment dropped, and people stopped buying the insurance James was selling. As far as he could see, beneath the glossy surface, when it came to the treatment of ordinary workers, America was no different to anywhere else.
The iconic symbol of the bull here in New York's financial district, just off Wall Street. James Connolly, Lily, 6 children he now had, would have walked up and down these streets, maybe on a summer's day or whatever. But James knew who suffered when capitalism ran amok, just like that bull. It was the workers. He wrote in 1900, 110 years ago, during a docker strike for better pay, James wrote, "Workers are regarded by their masters not as human beings, but simply as numbers on a balance sheet." How true that is, how true it is today. James Connolly, the people's prophet.
New KFC Mega Box. 1 piece of original recipe chicken, 1 mini fillet, 2 hot wings, loads of fries and gravy. Only $4.99. That's a deal worth shouting about.
With Meteor, you can pick up one of these 3 incredible Android smartphones for just $129.99. Access thousands of free apps and have all your social networking sites in one place. So, which incredible Android smartphone will you choose? Talk to our Android experts in store or go online today. Meteor, your social network.
I'm proud to support our local dairy farmers, local communities. That's why I look for the mark from the National Dairy Council. I see it as a badge of pride. Always choose milk and cream with the NDC mark. I do.
It's the same time again tomorrow.
Always choose milk and cream with the National Dairy Council mark. What do you see? Do you see Saturday as a day to slow everything down? Or as a chance to get everything moving?
Panoramic views that take us where we stand is not what
At Ulster Bank, our customers told us that time really matters to them. So now we're open for longer, and many of our branches are open on Saturdays.
Climb upon my shoulders, we'll get it.
Ulster Bank. Help for what matters.
It's sale time at Shaw's department stores. Don't miss out on the massive savings. The Shaw's sale is now on.
Okay, 37, just read them right there. Just read them right. You want some? Yeah? You want some? Hey?
Fancy flying with Aer Lingus to Paris from only $29.99? Or how about Barcelona from only $29.99? Fares start from only $29.99 one way, including taxes and charges, in the massive Aer Lingus sale. Don't miss out on savings to over 30 European routes from Dublin and Cork. So for fares that won't cost you your shirt, book now at airlingus.com. Aer Lingus. Enjoy your flight.
Ireland's biggest bookseller, Eason's, proudly present an autumn like never before. The best books of the season at earth-shattering prices. The Autumn Blitz, now on at an Eason's near you.
Experience the final Saw in heart-pounding 3D.
The last piece of the puzzle is you.
Saw 3D in cinemas October 28th.
The turn of the 20th century was the dawn of the modern American dream. Electricity, production lines, Henry Ford's motor car, the Wright brothers empowered flight. America was the future. Millions flocked to its shores. After selling insurance became a dead end for James Connolly, he and his family moved to New Jersey, and James went for a job in the Singer sewing machine factory.
9,000 people working here. James comes down looking for a job, of course, whips off his glasses. They wouldn't employ people with spectacles, believe it or not. Says they want a lathe operator. Can he operate a lathe? Of course he can, he says. He goes home that night. He hadn't a clue. He spoofed his way into that job, gets out the manual. What does James? Learns how to operate the lathe, gets the job the next day in this incredible ferment of 9,000 people, Germans, Irish, Italians. So he learns German and he learns Italian and he's able to speak to the workers here.
The greatness of James Connolly was, on many occasions, his downfall. His ideals didn't pay the bills and his dedication to the cause made things much more difficult. He saw socialism as a way of trying to address people's real needs and concerns, and he kept putting other people's needs above his own. And that is how his time at the Singer factory came to an end.
And of course, it's in his DNA. He's taking up wages and the long working hours and the conditions of the workers. Who want rid of him? The powerful once again, the bosses. They tell his foreman, get rid of Connolly. The foreman likes James, goes to him and says, they're out to get you. They're saying they'll sack me if I don't sack you, James. James says, once more, cause over comfort. He stands up, he says, don't you be losing your job. I'll take the hit. And he resigns from the Singer factory.
Crucially, America introduced James to a new trade union, the Industrial Workers of the World, also known as the Wobblies. They were promoting a new concept of one